Thank you, Jake, and good evening, everyone. A group called Rainbow Mobile sponsored an event where men dressed as female characters read to kids at the public library. Today was the first drag queen story hour, and hundreds of supporters showed up, as did dozens of protesters. NBC 15's Cassie Fambro was there and has both sides of the story. Cassie?
Lance, everyone can agree that reading to kids is an act of service. However, the issue here was who was reading to kids, those people being drag queens. Today, the supporters outweighed the protesters by hundreds. A wall of love. That's what supporters of Drag Queen Story Hour called their presence at the Ben May Library.
You guys excited?
More than 100 children packed 2 rooms where men dressed in costume as women read children's books like The Rainbow Fish.
Special scale.
Supporters and protesters both spread their messages outside of the library, both peaceful.
God bless you.
But with very different takes on Drag Queen Story Hour.
The issue that brings us out here today is what's appropriate for children and protecting the children.
The parents of the children who sat for the stories felt it was appropriate.
Leave the kids out of it. You know, we brought ours to teach them love. If you can't teach them love, don't teach them anything.
The two groups even fundamentally disagreed on the definition of love.
The love that you're talking about is the sugar-coated, water-coated gospel.
The venue itself was also contested, protesters saying a taxpayer-funded library wasn't the right place.
What comes down to is what's appropriate for 3 to 8 year olds, and should a public institution be doing that?
We confirmed with city officials that any group is allowed to rent the public space, but those in opposition felt allowing Drag Queen Story Hour crossed the line.
There's plenty of reasons to protect the impressionable young minds of children, and this is certainly inappropriate. This kind of thing for a little bitty child, they're too young to comprehend such a thing.
Signs showed the varying viewpoints in full display. One calling exposing kids to drag queens child abuse. Another saying, I would rather my child be literate than intolerant.
I wanted to be here for this because I can fully support an event that promotes literacy as well as inclusion and acceptance.
With plenty of passion on both sides, the drag queens who read the stories said they only had one agenda.
We are going to make Alabama beautiful. We just got to learn to treat each other that way first.
The event was so successful that organizers hope they'll be able to bring it back for another go-round. Reporting in Mobile, Cassie Fambro, NBC 15 News.